But before we wrap up this podcast, we're going to spend a few minutes just kind of loosely reacting to what is just an exciting time for SMU fans. And that is, guys, take it in. SMU basketball is going to welcome some of the most exciting teams and name brands in college basketball. SMU is going into its first season of ACC play in 2024-25. And on Thursday, they released the opponents for SMU, home and away, just home, just away. The ACC came out with that group, and SMU will face a trio of teams for home and away matchups. They'll face Cal, they'll face Stanford. Those are the teams that you expected with, SMU being in the middle of the country. And then SMU will face Virginia on the road and also welcome the Cavs to Moody Coliseum. So a national championship winning team, and Tony Bennett will be in Moody Coliseum next year. But oh wait, the Mustangs will also face Pitt, Clemson, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and then Duke, Louisville, and Syracuse. I mean, what an incredible just opportunity for SMU basketball. And we know they have to get a lot better between now and then. And being a top 4 team in the AAC isn't going to cut it at all when it comes to moving up into the next chapter of SMU athletics in terms of basketball. But they're also going to go on the road to Florida State, Miami, North Carolina, NC State, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, and Boston College. So we know the ACC is one of the best basketball conferences out there, if not the best at times. This 18-team ACC slate, or 18-team ACC league that SMU is going into, is going to bring excitement to Moody Coliseum. It's also going to bring more pressure to this program. And we've known about it now since September 1st when this all came together. Don't get me wrong. But it now becomes so much more real when you talk about Duke, Louisville, Syracuse, Virginia, and others coming to Moody Coliseum. And I encourage you guys over the next couple of weeks, I think we've got 2 more weekends of regular season college basketball to go. Go watch the ACC this weekend and go watch where they're at as a league. And SMU has some work to do. There's no doubt about it. But in the long history of Moody Coliseum, and especially the new Moody, we've seen some great moments. And we've seen the UConn game. We've seen even when Louisville came with College Game Day, and we've seen the buzzer beater against Cal to send SMU to New York. And you kind of get goosebumps as it, just an alum, but also as somebody who gets to cover this just became so much more real. And if you haven't grabbed your season tickets, I would encourage you to do that because tickets are going to be hard to get, in particular for certain games. But this is one of the key pieces, without a doubt, for the ACC when it came to why SMU is going to be a great fit. You have a program that there is a blueprint to being successful at SMU. There is a fan base that is hungry for great college basketball, and it goes for men's and women's as well. But when you talk about the group that is going to come to Moody, I encourage everybody to just enjoy it. And SMU's, in all likelihood, going to take their lumps next year. I mean, we've seen what this team that was put together for the AAC has done, beaten teams they should, not been up to snuff by any means against teams that are of a tougher caliber, maybe outside of Memphis. But enjoy this first season for what it is, which is this culmination, and football season will be, will have come and gone for the most part when SMU opens up ACC play. I think they might do a little early season games while, the bowl season's going on, but it's a incredible time for SMU to have these teams coming to Dallas and be able to bring these programs to Moody Coliseum. SMU has to step up and go out and address this roster. They have to make changes still. They are building a culture that plays really hard that I think can build off of some of those cornerstones. But Sam Williamson departs. They'll have other guys that move on. They absolutely need to go out and get more talent and more guys that look like they should be playing ACC basketball. And what I mean by that is I like Chuck Harris. I like Zurich Phelps. I like some of the guys they brought in who have also played at a high level. But when you look at some of the depth from these ACC teams, Denver Anglin's redshirting, Mo and Jai isn't playing much, Xavier Foster hasn't panned out. Emory Lanier gives it a go. And we've seen this team develop, but there has to be a lot of changes. And so the work is going to begin as soon as SMU season ends, however that ends, whether it be going on a run and winning the AAC tournament, whether it is going on a run in the NIT and winning it all. They have to find a way to get excitement about the future of their team to couple it with the excitement around the schedule. And so the pressure is certainly on Rob Lanier and his staff. And I like what they have turned this program into when it comes to playing hard, rebounding. We've seen them improve their defense. There are a lot of pieces to this puzzle that need to be improved when it comes to getting ready for ACC play. But the cornerstones of the culture are at least there where they can say, okay, if we add in the right pieces, maybe they can be middle of the pack. But as it stands right now, SMU has a lot of work to do to get there. And they know that. And this isn't me attacking this program and where it's at right now. It's just a reality. When you go look at this list that is coming to Moody Coliseum and where they've got to go play, it's a different level. And you can't just get by some nights on hustle and, playing good defense. You have to have the talent that gets that done night in, night out in a meat grinder of a schedule. So it is incredibly exciting to see who SMU now has on its schedule, home and away, for the first season of ACC play. It's also a stark reminder that SMU has to go out and address needs and address this roster, and they're going to have to do it with the transfer portal, and they're going to have to go after it hard because that's the name of the game. And David Miller and all the boosters and supporters that have gone out and gotten SMU into the ACC and gotten them in position to be in this premier college basketball conference and a top 3 conference overall nationally, there's work to be done. And they know that, and the staff knows that. And so there's a lot of pressure this offseason, and we'll be tracking it at ontheponyexpress.com when that time comes. But what a cool moment to finally see the schedule, or at least opponents, revealed for SMU in its first season of ACC basketball. So with that, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Hopefully it gets you through the weekend. We've got SMU UTSA on Saturday. We've got SMU Spring Football on Saturday as well. So be locked in with us at ontheponyexpress.com. Again, subscribe for just $1 for your first month. Hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel. Spread the word, guys. I appreciate all you guys who do that already, but please jump on board with us and see what it's all about. So hope you guys enjoyed this edition of the On the Pony Express podcast. We will catch you guys next week as spring football rolls on, and there will be a lot to talk about. So catch you guys next week. Have a great weekend, and thanks for listening to the On the Pony Express podcast.